Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to day 20 of the 30 Days of Transformation, a journey to your true self. Today, we're going to talk about finding the balance in your thoughts and in your emotions. We could also say that from head logic to I call heart language, which is really learning to recognize the feelings you have and processing them in such a way that you allow them, that you accept them, that you embrace them, and that you don't judge them most of all. I know that's what a lot of people have done to build up coping mechanisms on protect their emotions is to not allow yourself to feel something, not allow yourself to go through a process of expressing how you feel as well. A key component of this is not blocking the emotions, but also not letting the overriding logic take over to the point where that it brings up your rationalizing or brings up fear or brings up doubts. It's really learning to find that harmonic balance between your head and your heart. And that takes practice. But what I will tell you on the ascension journey of your true self, the whole journey of ascension is about a head to heart journey. So coming into our true selves is a journey to our heart. And for us, hey, hi Heidi, welcome. I know this must be on point for you, right? Um, so how can we find balance without letting our head take over? And how can we find balance without letting our emotions take over? Well, I got to tell you, that's almost like close to the $1 million question of, you know, how do I know if this is my twin flame? Right? That's how I always tell people that's like $1 million question. In this part of this, it's exploring the art of your own self. It's exploring the art in your ability to find balance in rationalizing thoughts, and then also finding the balance in not living in those emotions that are, and I'm not even going to use the word negative because like a lot of people look at it as a negative experience to be there. I know I did, like for most of my life. I since I've started this 30 days of transformation, and just so you know, this is day 20. If you've not got caught up in the rest of the days, head over to YouTube. You can catch the playlist there, Twin Flame Expert on YouTube. And on the playlist, you'll see all the different things that I've been talking about, the topics, and giving tips and techniques and ideas for you to create this journey to your true self. But from this place of where I'm referring to this is what a lot of people tend to do is they don't realize that the conflict is an inside job. It's not your circumstances. It's not your obstacles. It's the struggle that you have between these two components of you. When you can learn how to find balance in that, and you don't, when I was about to say a while ago, is you don't live in that space of allowing those fears, allowing those doubts to override your ability to know inside of you and your own intuition and your own ability to recognize that there is a voice inside of you that wants to be heard. Through the journey of coming into your heart, though, a lot of people through many dimensions, many lives, many experiences, and their whole entire life, and through even childhood most times in this life, they've built walls of protection around their heart. And so what they don't recognize is they're not able to receive what it is they're asking for or what they want. And so the mind creates a protection mechanism to protect those emotions. And it's an unconscious thing most of the time. But what we tend to do, and this again is going back to the point I was trying to make a while ago, we tend to try to avoid our ability to go there. I've had many clients I've worked with that have not come to see me because they weren't ready to face their inner child at the level they needed to heal, see, feel, and heal those emotions. And most people don't want to feel that stuff. They want to avoid it. And that creates creative avoidance for all kinds of excuses, all kinds of logical things that say, I'm going to not go there. And a lot of times it's because they feel like they're going to have a breakdown. But that's what you really technically need, because the breakdown is the breakthrough, the walls of protection that you've carried through unconscious fears that's, coming up through you through this process. So your experiences are triggering these emotions that are trying to be seen, felt, and heard, but your brain won't let you. So it's a coping mechanism. And we've been taught, even growing up. I mean, to think about it, and I won't say everyone, but a lot of times it is a cultural or a conditional society is, it's not okay to be vulnerable, and it's not okay to cry, and it's not okay to be negative. It's not okay to express how you feel. Now, that being said, to give you an example of that, you really need to express how you feel. But if you are over expressing how you feel, and that's all you think about, and that's all you say, then you're creating everything that you're trying not to feel or that you don't want, because you're actually now living in it, and you're revisiting it, and you're stewing in it, and you just continue to create that from that place. This is that kind of the mechanism I'm talking about, finding, the balance between your ability to know that it's okay to feel protected and protect yourself, but you also need to learn how to open up and learn how to feel more. Because what happens in this process, I call this, if you followed me for a long time, what happens in the process that I share is we're creating emotional intelligence here. And that means the more, I'm just going to say, sorrow we feel as an example, the more joy we can feel. But we can't feel the extent of the joy if we can't go deeper and dive deeper into the sorrow that is the transmuter, that's the expanded version of those range, because your emotions are a range of emotions. And at any given time, you could be in any place with that. That is also definitely trying to find the balance in that, so you're not living in one space that too long that keeps you sucked in to that vortex of repeated cycles I was talking about. But it's okay to not to accept that, to honor that, to love that part of you. That's how we also integrate the shadow self, the side of ourself that we have suppressed, we have hidden, we have not honored, we have not listened to. And that's the part of you that is still feeling rejected, still feeling wounded, still feeling hurt, still feeling these things that are triggering you, to recognize that that is in you. So, these experiences happen for you to feel this, but it's not about the experience, and it's not even about the person triggering the experience. It's about you and how you feel, and something unresolved, an unresolved emotion inside of you that is asking to be seen, felt, or heard, so you can collect that part of yourself to bring the wholeness and bring the balance. And as you do that, that brings the balance between your head and your heart. And this is, again, an art. It's a practice. It's not a one size fits all, and it's not a direct journey. So the journey from the head to the heart through the ascension is not direct. That's why they call it in the unilome. Let's show you here on Instagram. I got Instagram here. The unilome is a representation of a zigzag path, right? But, and this is a good example, that, and I don't know if I get my arm turned enough for both of you. Then you're there. Maybe you both can see that now. But you've got the path that's zigzagging, but it leads us to enlightenment, which is what this lotus is. Which, when we step into enlightenment, that's what harmony brings us, right? And that's my name, actually, literally. But this is the pathway to enlightenment. So the journey from our head to heart is also the path to enlightenment. Is the path to waking up the parts of ourselves that we're trying to remember from many levels. Remember from a part of us that has not wanted to be vulnerable. That's a very uncomfortable thing. I can't tell you many times that getting vulnerable can literally make, for me, And if it's you, let me know. Like literally make you almost feel sick to your stomach. That or like you'll have this like, and I used to do this when I was really young, or go into a deep conversation or have some deep emotions come up and be sharing, and maybe even cry, because I was not a crier. My mother's on here so she could confirm this. I am not was not a crier. I grew up like just like nope, stuff, and like I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to feel my emotions, and I was in a, and I'll just tell you this. And again, my mother is on here on Instagram, but I rolled a truck 3.5 times and went through a windshield, and I was 8.5 months pregnant. No, 8 months pregnant. Had my daughter 2 weeks later, with my daughter, and totaled the truck. Obviously, I cut my head open to the skull. I to this day have some neck things that I have issues with on that. And through hi Dawn, welcome from Oregon. Going through that though, like I had highway burn all the way down my face. I'm in the emergency room, and my mom walks in, and I looked at her and I said, "Don't you dare cry, because I haven't even cried yet." And what's really interesting, I just got to say this, and she's here. So she, again, I find that it's interesting as we continue to clear all these generational things. And so my mom has always known how to express herself or share her feelings or be open or talk about, how she feels. And I could never do that. And so it's interesting with my father passing a couple years ago, and then she had some health issues. She had to suppress everything, or she thought she did, to hold everything in, because she had to go to her own healing and not heal through my dad's passing, to even just cope with what she was dealing with for her own health right after he passed away. Now, the interesting thing is that was happening to her to sort of suppress and to shut down. I was opening up, like from a place of like the most I'd ever been, emotional, the most I'd ever been expressive, the most I've ever been to just feel and cry. And this was actually, and I'm getting really teary-eyed saying this, because I know what it's like to not be able to share how I feel, or to not be able to express myself. And you know, you can tell I'm getting like really emotional just talking about this, because now I do know how to. And I have some things even the last few days that have been emotions that are coming up, and they're revisiting things and they're reflecting on things. And when I get done with this, I'm going to share with my beloved how I feel. And so that's something I've not been able to do. And to be able to come into this place and be open, raw, real, and vulnerable. And I never did finish what I was saying about this. The point of what I was about to say is, when my experience and all that, if I would get into that place of showing emotion, I would literally feel violated almost after, like for days after, I have these emotions and these feelings that felt not good. And it was only because like it didn't feel good to express myself. It didn't feel good to share things that were very vulnerable. It's like I want my blanket back. Because getting vulnerable is getting transparent, getting raw, real, naked, to the core of your soul. But I got to tell you, in the journey to the heart of your true self is expressing your true emotions. It's not covering up because you're worried about what somebody else is going to think of you or how they're going to judge you for it, but which is only your own judgment. Because if you express it that way and then you want your blanket back and you think somebody's judging you, it's because you're judging your own emotions. That's how this stuff works. So, um, there's no one path. And this is why they say the ascension and making it into, the heaven aspect of that, which is the ascension, is, easier to get the camel through the eye of a needle than it is to make it in the kingdom of heaven. That's because the mastery it takes to come into this balance of yourself and be able to express all of yourself and connect to all of yourself and be all of yourself, and not be afraid to share all of yourself. Because what'll happen is, and again, I'm kind of feeling this in my own emotional status, the things that I can't continue to open up or continue to move forward in a way that's truly open. Or even like what I find is when I have something that's emotional, I got to share with someone and I release that emotion or I share it, I actually open up more after now instead of feeling so shut down after. And then what that does is that creates a more harmonic exchange when it's done from a healthy state with someone than it is with a toxic state with someone. So it's kind of like in this balance of your head to your heart. It's not an easy route, as I was saying, like think of it as the eye of the camel, but it's a required part of the journey to your true self. And that's what this whole journey is for my ascension, the twin flame journey. The twin flame being a reflection of who you are as, you being the person, and that it is your process and it's not about that person at all. So, yeah, I would love to hear. I know I got a couple comments here, so I'm going to kind of check in on that. But what I will tell you is, if you're just joining me, this is day 20 of a journey to your true self, 30 days of transformation, where I've come live every day to share tips, tools, techniques of what that journey looks like and how you can navigate it easier, better, faster. And you can check out the playlist on YouTube at Twin Flame Expert. You can also get subscribed there and hit the notification bell, and you'll know whenever I come live. And I mentioned this before, but just so, sorry, there's somebody coming in here. Hopefully I still got my, yes, sorry about that, Instagram. Somebody was calling in on my phone. Hopefully, if you've not been following this, you can subscribe, as I was saying, on my YouTube, and you'll know when I come live. But here's what I was about to say. I got a week behind in this journey of this. And this is like, again, really quick, just to share how this links. When you truly get out of your mind, you don't pay attention to as many details. You flow with things, you balance things, you can navigate the journey better when you create the neutrality in these emotions or in these thoughts or in your head and in the feelings. But I'm not just meaning in those feelings and logic. I'm talking about in every area of your life. I lost an entire week because we go to town next week. And in my mind of mapping out, I thought, when I started this, I thought we had a whole nother week for me to finish this just before I left. And that wasn't how it was. And my beloved mentioned last week to me, we leave. I said, yeah, we leave in 2 weeks. He goes, no, it's sooner than that. And I go, no. And then I was like, oh, crap, it's a week. Now it's just a few days. So I discovered that, and the old me would have taken all my gear to make sure I got on live every day while gone. But this is a family trip to be with my children, and it's so special. And there's a lot behind all of that. And so I'm going to choose to be with family. And I haven't always done that. So this is, again, how these things work. And when I get back, I will pick up where I left off and finish it, doing the lives. But regardless, if you get plugged in, hit the notification bell to subscribe, you will know whenever I come live, and you'll be able to catch, these, and you can catch the replays over there. And the other piece I just really want to state is, if you're really looking to make that quantum leap, we're already gearing up, helping people make this head to heart shift in a quantum leap through a lot of healing work that we're going to be doing at the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat here in Sedona, April 4th through 7th. And you can check out the link in the description above or below, depending upon your platform. And for those of you that is on Instagram, you can find that and see that the link will be in the bio. So let me take a couple different things here. I want to acknowledge all of you for joining me, and thanking all of you for joining me in the journey. And I'm just going to acknowledge here Heidi. First question was deleted. You totally do read the auras of many of us. You're welcome. So I'm assuming, and let me just say this. You said the first question was deleted. So just keep in mind, there is no bad questions. It's how you feel. Like, that's why I always tell people, like, it is sometimes hard to maybe ask something, say something, so just be yourself. Just be yourself. There's no judgment here. Okay. So use that as an opportunity to be all of you, even just in this scenario. Okay. And Dawn, as I mentioned, welcome from Oregon. And Dear My Beloved says there's a beauty in believe in being love. And yes, 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 that is so true, because like basically some of the things we're talking about here, when you journey to your heart, it's about you no longer like understanding love from a place of you want love, or that you need love, or that you desire love, or to be loved, or even to be loving. It's that you are love. Okay. That you are love. And when you become love and you represent love and you show up as love and you share love without an expectation of anything or anyone fulfilling that desire for you, that's when you're going to receive the love that you actually desire, because that's how the laws of the universe work. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And for those of you on my personal Facebook page, Jeremiah has put the link to the retreat in the comment section there. Again, anywhere else, you'll find it in the description or on the bio. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm so excited because I have not been on a vacation with both of my children since they were small children, like very small, like, I don't know, like maybe 8, 12, 13, something like that. And now they're, this year they'll be 36 and 41. And I was telling my neighbor the other day, she's like, oh my God, like, I thought you were like mid 40s. I'm like, you know what? That's how I feel. And there's something to be said about a youthful spirit, right? And age is just a number. And so let's see, Dawn, what else did you have to say here? The crying keeps coming. And that is so healing, because the crying can be from a sense of the stuff, these emotions that you have held in for lifetimes, really. It's stored in a memory, it's stored in your body, it's stored in your organs even. So when you go through the layers of healing this, you have to not just go through the mental layer, nor the emotional layer, nor the energetic layer, or the spiritual layer. And that's what a lot of people have done. But you need to clear it at a physical level. And that's why so many people are having so much physical manifestation right now, physical illnesses. Because the physical manifestation of illness is disease of some sort. And when you put dis-ease on the body from storing all this stuff too long, it creates disease. And it always enters your field first. And so you need to clear not just the field, the emotions, the mind, because you can change all those patterns. And that's where people get stuck in this. But it's the physical part of you that may still have the memory inside of the physical body that remembers all of this. And the memory of the physical body needs to learn how to reprogram itself. Now, what I would tell you about that is a couple things. One, that's where my chiropractic background of 30 years comes in here, and quantum physics and healing, because that's what I always taught as a chiropractor. Always, the whole time as a chiropractor, I was doing all of this physical release, emotional release, mental release, working that for 30 years with people. I didn't just adjust backs. I also did nutrition and all kinds of other things. But where that now, comes into play with what I do now I can see even things from a different perspective, different awareness. And I went through things on new levels to experience things I had never experienced, to learn how to help people come home to their body, to heal their body, to purge their body, to repattern their body. And if you've heard me talk or followed me for the last couple of years, all I keep talking about is the physical manifestation of things and how we're going through the physical manifestation. And then even last year, that's how I said, like, I knew I was going back into a physical contact with people, and I didn't know whether or what that was going to mean. And that's where Sedona comes into this for me. That's where, showing up here to Sedona was about getting back into a community and connecting with people in a physical form to be able to help them heal on this physical level again. I didn't even know what that meant. I just knew it was to be done. So me and a massage therapist friend of mine back from Missouri, we worked for over a year on creating this blueprint that came to me. I shared with him, we both awakened, and we ping pong this stuff back and forth to create a technique basically to help people do this at quantum speed. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be doing at the retreat as the physical component of this physical release. So if you've been doing all this work emotionally, mentally, spiritually, energetically, and you're still experiencing these cycles and these loops, you need to clear your physical stuff. And that's what we're going to be doing. So I highly recommend you join us at the retreat if that's something that resonates with you. It's going to be amazing, April 4th through 7th, and you'll find the link in the description in Facebook and YouTube, and also on Instagram. It will be inside of my bio. But I send you guys loads of love for today. And I want to just say thank you, Mama. You're still here. My mama's still here. And I know she's been joining me a lot on the lives here on Instagram. So, and also she's had some health issues and physical manifestation of all this stuffing of things. So, you know, any prayers for her would be greatly appreciated. She's been going through so much, and we know that's a collective clearing. And it's time for us to truly embody our true selves, our best selves, our highest selves and highest versions, and learn how to live in peace, love, joy, harmony, fulfillment, and actually show up every day living your life in a place of being fulfilled and living consciously and being conscious rather than just striving and suffering and struggling. Now, I'm not going to say that's not another part of the mastery to step into that version of you at a finite level, and to take this back to today's topic just really quick, and finding that balance in between your logic and your emotion, that it's a tight wire. That also means that you're finding balance in your surrender and your resistance to change. Okay. So change in all of this is happening as you move from who you've been to who you're becoming. And you got to learn how to navigate that. You got to learn how to let go. You got to learn how to open up. You got to learn how to receive. You also got to learn how to protect from a new way. And you got to bring your masculine, your own feminine energies inside of you, not gender, inside of you, into this harmonic balance that gives you the opportunity to love all sides of yourself, creating the wholeness, the oneness, the completeness, and the trueness of who you truly are. Thank you so much, Heidi, for the prayers for my mama. I really appreciate it. Sending you guys loads of love. I'll see you tomorrow.